Welcome to the Lion's Den. I'm Jimmy Haas, your host. We do this thing each and every week at Randall Ford. Got Coach Zane Gibson with us from University of Arkansas Fort Smith men's basketball. And Coach, Quincy is the last opponent that the Lions face before the Thanksgiving holidays. Let's kind of break down that ball game because it was an important game going into the holidays for this team. You had played a pretty tough non-conference schedule. You're getting ready to get into the MIAA. And this was a long trip to Illinois, similar to some of the Lone Star Conference trips. Been a long time since you played Quincy. I think 2010, something like that. But Quincy held the edge on the Lions as far as win-loss when they would play them just every now and then. So it was an important game. New faces, new arena. And let's break that game down because in the first half, Lions kind of got off to a start, and they were just kind of feeling it was like a chess match.
Yeah, as we talked about last week, they had beaten Central Missouri and Missouri Southern in our league. Very good team. They had a really good crowd. I was surprised. Day before Thanksgiving, no students were on campus, but yet they still had a very healthy crowd into an older Midwestern gym is how I would describe it.
Right.
And so the echo was awfully loud in there. And not quite as old as our car we're in right now, which is very nice. But it was an environment that will prepare us going on. But yeah, to start the game, I would like us to start a little bit better and stop going through a filling out phase. But we did. Once we got a rhythm to kind of what they were doing, for the last 30 minutes of the ball game, I felt like we really controlled it and executed and did what we wanted to do. But yeah, no, the first 10 minutes were definitely a filling out phase that we had to get through.
So, Coach, when you took the court up there, it was a shock and awe factor with the gym and the surroundings, electric atmosphere. Probably the biggest, I would say, road crowd that you've faced this year.
Well, Harding had a great crowd. They obviously, and they get amped up when we come down there.
Sure.
And that's what I hope that our guys understand and our base understands, that people get excited when we come in to a home court, another team's home court, and we draw on the road. And so, yes, but absolutely they were, it was very, a very basketball savvy crowd. Harding was students but these were very smart basketball people. They were clapping for Quincy or applauding them when they would do things that I deem as good basketball. And sometimes that doesn't happen. But no, it was great. It's going to prepare us for these road games in the MIAA coming up. And they have a good ball team. But I thought our guys took a big step as a team, kind of being who we wanted to be with the pressure we put on them defensively. Executed a lot better in the second half in our half-court stuff. Thought we shared the ball pretty well. And so I was, they're a good team, but I was very, very happy to see the steps that our team took in a place that's not easy to play in.
Coach, let's talk a little bit and brag a little bit about this coaching staff. And I know that, in the past, you've always had that coach speak. Every time I would talk to Coach Newman, he'd do the same thing to me. You come off a game against Southern Nass where you had an opportunity at the end to win the thing. Your team fought back like crazy in the second half, and I'm going to tell you something. Some of the best basketball that I've seen the Lions play. You put up 26 in the first half against Drury or against Quincy. What did you guys say at halftime? What did you talk about? What did you adjust? Because in the second half, you put up 52 points. So something had to happen for the coaching staff to get these guys to do that.
Well, there were a couple of spots that we saw them struggling in the first half, and we outlined those in better detail in the halftime. But it really wasn't anything that was a major adjustment. It was more so giving them a sightline adjustment. Sometimes when guys have the ball or in a ball screen coverage or are doing different things throughout the game, their eyes are in the wrong place. And we talked to them about having their eyes in the right place so they were reading the correct phases and areas of the defense, and they made that adjustment. And then, as I always say, our defense helped our offense as well because we turned them over. We weren't giving up as many offensive rebounds, so they didn't get second chances. It allows us to get out. and get going in transition, which I feel like is a strength of our team. And when you can get easy attempts, that helps you as well. So we didn't make any just radical changes at halftime, but we did really talk about some sightline things when they had the ball into some compact areas, and I think the guys did a really good job making those adjustments.
4 starters, double-digit scoring, and I mean just balanced. No one was the go-to guy. Everyone was the go-to guy. I mean that says it all. I mean quality team, quality balance. Everyone's sharing the basketball. Everyone's scoring and rebounding.
Yeah, to this point we haven't really had obviously with not having Peyton with us right now. We haven't really had a guy step forward and just take that kind of role as far as the guy who we're going to lean on scoring. We've kind of done it by, committee, and it's been different guys each game. BJ Reeves didn't have his best game at Quincy. Obviously played a really good game versus SNU, and vice versa. Isaiah played really, really well up there versus Quincy, and so that's kind of what it's been early. And I'm fine with that. I think that makes us harder to scout because then you've got this guy, and this guy you have to focus on instead of just one guy. And I think the guys are buying into taking good shots no matter who has it instead of just that guy needs to take a shot. And so I think that as we continue to evolve and although we all want to be a finished product right now, we're still just 6 games in.
Sure.
We still have a long way to go before we feel like we even know who we are. And because of, again, unfortunately, injuries, we're playing more new guys than old guys right now. And so that's, again, not allowing us to have some continuity to drag over from last year. But we're developing it quickly, and I like the direction we're going.
Coach Gibson joining us on the Lions Den here at Randall Ford. We're actually broadcasting from a 1925 Ford that was the thing still runs. They used to use it in parades, but kind of wanted to go back. And Randall Ford celebrated its 116th birthday in October. So kind of the old and the new. And I'm the old, he's the new. Coach, let's take a look at Northeastern. You had Thanksgiving, team celebrated. I saw all the pictures on Facebook. And now you got to get back to business. There's no rest. Northeastern's coming in, and you got a big game.
Yeah, they played well to start the year. They're 4-3. They have the leading scorer in the league right now. Trey Pips is averaging almost 26 points a game.
Right.
And this is a team. Not saying this year, next year. This is a team that I think will become a major rival of the Lions. Just being in Tahlequah, which is just up the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the whole reason why we made this move into the MIAA was to get back to those regional rivalries with Rogers State and also form some new ones like with NSU. I would be surprised if there's not some green in our arena on tomorrow night. And it's a good basketball team. Coach Jay does a really good job with them. They move. They're a motion team. They don't really run a ton of sets. So it's a free-flowing type deal. They like to shoot the three. They're averaging almost 10 threes a game, 9 point something. And they're out rebounding their opponents. They're kind of doing all the stuff in the new wave of college basketball that you want to do. Take care of the ball, out rebound the other team, make a lot of threes. And they kind of do that. But they have a really, really good player in Trey Pips, who's an Oklahoma transfer. Was at Oklahoma and then Tulsa, now down there at NSU. And he'll be a challenge for us to guard all night tomorrow night.
Lions tip off at 7:30. Ladies tip off at 5:30 as we get back into action and get our first MIAA game under our belts. And Coach, I look down the roster of NSU, and they're basically they've started a different set. Their top 5 scorers, they're not all starters, bench players. Mm-hmm. So and then they're scoring, and they have 5 players in double-digit scoring. And then Bryson Smith started all 7 games. He's also leading the team in steals of 14. So tough ball player, good basketball player, good defender.
Yeah. No, they are a very good team from kind of top to bottom. They're not super deep. They'll play about 7 or 8. But those 7 or 8, you can pretty much, shake them up in a hat, pull one out, and they give you quality no matter which way he wants to turn. And, you mentioned it, and that's my fault for not, and this is our first MIAA game. I mean, mm-hmm. As our university, this will be the first one that we play in men's basketball, and obviously women's basketball play right before us. So this is a moment in our school's history going forward. And also, if you want to have chances at championships down the line, if you want to have chances at the conference tournament down the line, it's important to get off to a great start, and particularly at home.
Right.
Going on the road is a different deal. Not that you get passes for being on the road, but when you're at home, the importance of protecting your home floor are exponential in a conference race. When again, our goals are to put ourselves last couple weekends of the year in a chance to be a champion. Well, you can't do that if you forget the first 4 or 6 games of league play. You put yourself out early, and so this is a game that's got a lot of ramifications from a historical standpoint, from getting off to a good start in the league standpoint, from where I believe this goes to a future rivalry standpoint. And so this is a very important game for us down here at Fort Smith.
Coach, there's only one common opponent this early in the season that NSU and UA Fort Smith has shared, and that's Southern Nazarene. Southern Naz beat them 71-66. That was back on November the 16th. You played your tails off against Southern Nazarene, so this ought to be a competitive basketball game Tuesday night. Let's talk a little bit about the Williams duo. These guys, phenomenal. I love watching their high energy output. Tommy Williams averaging 4.5 rebounds, 11 steals on the season, averaging 7 points, very consistent.
He is the head of our defense. He's not going to be a guy who probably ever scores 20 a game, but he's going to kind of stat sheet stuff. He's going to probably be up there in assists leading the team. He's going to be up there in rebounds because even as a guard, he'll go stick his nose back down there and rebound the ball. He will score when needed. But the thing he does better than anybody is he can wear down your point guard because he's got kind of that motor that goes all the time, and he'll pick you up full, and by the end of the night, your guy gets tired up there. And so he really is kind of the head of our defense. When he's good, we're good defensively. And then, Terrell, the other Williams, is, just a bull. He's a big, strong kid who can get downhill. Very capable shooter. Obviously, this year, I know he's shooting a good percentage from 3. And again, a guy who's really good on the defensive side of the ball, particularly in the help areas. And so they have been fantastic for us to start the year. And I feel like, again, because they're 2 new guys, they're still just getting their groove right now and will continue to excel as the year goes on.
So looking at some of the stats early on for Terrell Williams, he's leading the team in scoring of 14 points. And he's doing this with nowhere close to the most minutes on the floor. Yeah. He's a gamer.
Yep.
But he gives you that spark. He started 1 game this year, but he gives you that spark off the bench that not a lot of teams, not a lot of coaches have that luxury of having.
Yeah, we had kind of talked to him about wanting the correct lineups on the floor all the time with him. And that's where, again, just because you start or you don't start doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right.
It's trying to create matchups that we have advantages to and flow and feel the game. And so if he can kind of lead that secondary unit, although he did start last game because of some injuries, that gives us a punch off the bench that, if our starters and their starters can play even and both teams got to go to the bench and he brings a punch, maybe that's where we take advantage in the game. And so, he's been great. He's been very efficient. He's not taking anywhere near the most shots on our team. But he's making his at a high rate and doing things efficiently, and sometimes efficiently is more better than volume.
Coach, 7:30 tomorrow night.
We'll be there.
Team ready?
I think so. We'll see.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, we do this each and every week from Randall Ford. Come by and see us anytime that you want. We're open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Of course, the Lions. I posted on Facebook that if you're looking for something outside of the box to get a family member or a friend for the holidays, why not buy season tickets for them to the Lions games? That's all you got to do. Just go online, buy those tickets, give them to them in a Christmas gift card, and man, you've got your whole season done. You don't have to do any more shopping. You don't have to go online. You don't have to wait in line at the malls. It's going to be here on time. So shopping online always stresses me out because you never know if it's getting here, and I can't stand those big long lines. So yeah, this perfect gift.
Absolutely.
Come see us, Stubblefield Center, Tuesday night. NSU's in town. First MIAA conference game for the Lions in their history. So we want you to be a part of it. Bring the entire family. We'll see you at the Stubblefield Tuesday night. Ladies tip off at 5:30. The men at 7:30. Hey, we got Coach Ryan McAdams coming up next on the Lions Den, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Lions Den. We move forward on this edition. We're down here at Randall Ford. We'll be here each and every week throughout the year, talking basketball and just talking everything that's going on the campus at University of Arkansas Fort Smith. I'm Jimmy Haas. Coach Ryan McAdams joins me now. Let's talk some Lady Lions basketball. Coach, Truman State was the final opponent before the Thanksgiving break. Do you feel like maybe your kids were looking forward to Thanksgiving? I feel like by watching the game that they were focused, because you come out and this team continues to play hard.
Yeah, we put ourselves in a position to need to bounce back after losing to Drury on their home floor the night before. So we really challenged them to the case you just made, really not be 1 foot in the car heading home for Turkey Day with the family, and actually being all 10 toes in. And Truman State did really good things to put us in bad positions defensively at times. They had a kid go off on us for 30, and we had a difficult time managing her throughout the game. But, I was actually thinking about this morning. 3 of our 6 wins now are 1 possession or less. And I think that's something that is starting to sink in a little bit, that we're okay even down to the last possession. And the way our kids stayed resilient, dealt with foul trouble a little bit, but just, we had to make a shot. As Justin wrote in the recap, 4 lead changes in the last minute, and a chance at a 5th. Lane Kirkendall with a big defensive stand at the buzzer to keep, preserve the win. So really dramatic, a really good one to build on, and something that kind of made the break a little bit easier.
Let's break down this Truman State game. First quarter, they outscored you by 7, 22-15. Second quarter, you just simply turned the tables on them. Defense started picking up a little bit more, and you outscored them 27-16 in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think both games we just got off to rough starts. Drury was up on us. What was it, 13-1 or something, and then Truman jumped out on us too, and something we've actually discussed since in practices since the break. Just trying to figure out ways to start better, consistently, developing habits and patterns to come out of the gate a little bit better. So, dug ourselves a hole on the Tuesday night game at Drury, and you think about it, we're down 13-1 to start. We call a timeout, we lose by 16. So. We're only -4 the remaining, 30-something minutes. And then, Truman, they jump on us early again, make a couple shots. We just sometimes take a little bit to get going offensively, comfortable. But the second quarter was really something that I felt was really important for us. We did it within our own identity. We didn't really use a bunch of sets or, a bunch of wrinkles in our different offense. We just played our style. I really just kind of emphasized playing our style, moving the ball and playing with pace. And we made some shots, which obviously helps, but we just got back to our offensive structure, and we were able to go, jump on them. And from that point forward, it was just kind of a slugfest, really.
So if you look at Joyce that hit for 30 with Truman, 8 of 18. Okay, yeah, that's all right. 4 of 11, but she was 10 of 12 from the free throw line. So. I mean, put her on the line, she's going to score for that team. And I think they have comfort in knowing that. If they need some points, she'll just take it to the rim and look for the contact.
Yeah, and both teams were in bonus, throughout the game, and a lot of foul calls and a lot of difficulty as far as, trying to adjust to officiating, and for both sides, both teams, and a lot of conversations being had between coaches and officials. And so, anytime you get into a game that's a little messy like that, you run the risk of somebody getting hot at the line. And, when somebody's able to see the ball go through the basket at the free throw line, it helps them in live play. And she made some shots. She's by far, one of the better scorers in that league, I would imagine. And, we were able to withstand, just enough to escape on a neutral floor.
So, and I know that you and I have talked about it, free throws, especially down the stretch, will win you ball games. Joyce was 10 of 12. The rest of the team was 6 of 13. So I mean, she was carrying them.
Yeah, and their style of play is space it and shoot it. We didn't really think that enough of their players could really hurt us from the perimeter, and they shot the ball from the perimeter as within their system.
Mhm.
They just didn't shoot it terribly well from three, which we counted on. The way we scout people is based on percentages and number of 3-point attempts out of their number of total attempts, and those sorts of things we really dial into. Who can and could possibly hurt us from the 3-point line. I thought that we did a really good job playing the scout. We guarded the people in front of us and didn't just play the scout. We played the person, but we at the same time understood that certain people on the other team, we were okay with shooting the perimeter shot and rolling the dice on them making it. And like I say, we just when it comes down to a one possession game, those things matter. So our kids really kind of leaned into that.
Anna Trusty, 18 points, 24 minutes, 7 of 10 from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck of a game. And then Z, I can't brag enough on her. Z had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, 12 points.
Yeah.
Got to have that night in and night out from that guard play, and you're getting that.
Yeah, Zanaya Thomas is really stepping into her own as a senior. Terrific junior college career, high level player. Dealt with injury last year, came all the way back. Really played her best game of the year in the quarterfinal when we needed her to, and has really built on that. And like you mentioned, she's really doing more than just one specific stat. Anna played through foul trouble. Her performance in 24 minutes was based when she got her 4th foul with a handful of minutes left in the game, and that really put us in a position where we were, kind of adjusting defensive matchups and things like that. And so for her to perform and score the ball and stay consistent the way she did through foul trouble was very impressive. And, Hannah, makes a big shot. You're down 2 with 7 seconds to go or what have you, or 9 seconds to go. And, she's 0 for 8 from 3 to that point.
Right.
And you draw up a play that puts her in a position where if she's available, she's open and we want the ball in her hands on a catch and shoot. And, she follows through and Z with the pass and the perfect read on the baseline out of bounds. We put one defender in a decision, and we knew that she was going to go one way or the other, and we had a counter to that decision that she was going to be forced to make, and just so happened that Hannah was the counter. And you're not the leading 3-point make person in the program without being able to make a shot through a difficult game. And I don't care if she's 1 for 9. The one that she made was the one that mattered, and that was a great way for her to put a stamp on the game despite having a rough shooting night.
For this, and I know she was excited after the ball game, but she's done that so many times, and leave her open, she'll score against you.
Mm-hmm.
She's Hannah Boyette, and I said this to some friends. She's going to be successful no matter what she decides to do later on in life. She's been successful all throughout her career, and continues to just put on a show. And I mean, she hit the game winner. They still had a good look at it, though. I mean, there was still 7 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, great play call by the coach for Truman, and we make a defensive adjustment where we put Lane Kirkendall in for Hannah at the 4. You put some length on the floor to try to protect the rim, and he does a great job putting one of his best players in an ISO situation at the elbow, and she drives it to the rim, and Lane's just a little bit longer, a little bit more athletic, and gets her hand on the shot and preserves the win. And she's also stepped into just whatever role we need her to play.
Right.
One of the most coachable kids I've ever had in my career. One of the most giving and kind of servant type players. She'll do whatever we ask her to do. If that means go in there for 7 seconds and get a stop, she'll do it. And really thrilled for her to experience success. She's now been the primary defender on 2 missed shots at the end of single possession wins, and that's a confidence builder for her, I would imagine, and something that we really key on is our defensive just toughness, and she's a big part of that.
5:30 tomorrow night. Of course, we're filming this on Monday morning, but 5:30 on Tuesday night, you tip off for the very first MIAA conference matchup at the Stubblefield Center. Northeastern comes in, and looking at Northeastern, they have a couple of players that that are averaging double-digit scoring. Alex Hill, 14 points, and then Gabby Tillery with 12 points. Common opponent between the two teams was Southeastern Oklahoma a little bit earlier. You played them on the 23rd. They played them on the 13th of November. Southeastern beat NSU 64-50. You beat Southeastern 91-81. Two contrasting styles there as far as the points and the defense.
Yeah, Keith Ferguson does a great job. Alex Hill was a big get for them. She was, arguably one of the best players at Arkansas Tech last year. I think she was an all-conference player in the GAC. And, she comes in at the 2 guard, leading them in scoring. Tough kid, lefty, really crafty, knows how to score the ball. And, he's got some pieces. He's got a kid named Camara who, transferred in from New Mexico State, who was a Division I signee and for whatever reason filtered to the Division II level in his program. So he's got some players who can do things. They run ball screen motion. I mean, I told my team yesterday, we'll probably guard anywhere between 150, 180 ball screens tomorrow night, just because they'll set 2 to 3 a possession. And you look at a 70 to 80 possession game, the numbers are high. And so we're going to have to be steady, consistent with our coverages. We're going to have to know personnel. They do have a few shooters, and I'm excited. Last year we played them in a non-con at their place, and they took it to us, and we owe them one from last year, and my returners know that. And again, just the excitement, the hype about a first MIAA game is not lost on our kids, and they're excited for the conference home opener, all the things that kind of point to whatever motivations you need to tap into as a player to get up for the game. And I'm willing to implore all of them, right? The revenge from last year, the first conference game, all the things. But also I think, we're coming off of a split and a classic against Drury. And, Drury I thought was really, really good. I thought they played us really tough on their home floor. They were really up for us, and we did not play well and lost by 60 on their home floor. They turned around and lose to Newman the next night.
Right.
And so I think that shows the strength of the MIAA top to bottom. And, so if you look at Northeastern's record at 4-3 and, Newman's record, which is below 500, and, it doesn't matter. Now conference play is starting, and there are quality teams throughout our league. And we're excited at the opportunity to start league play.
Pretty comfortable in this old truck, ain't it?
This is a throwback as far as a throwback can go. And I'll tell you, it's my first time sitting in one. It's a nice little, set up here.
I think Lewis Horton, when Coach was with us, he actually rode in this to the prom.
Yeah, that would make sense.
1925 model.
That would make sense. Yeah,
I miss him. Listen, he would have been proud of the way the program is right now, and I know that there are a lot of fans, a lot of the students, a lot of the alumni that have played here and gone on to their careers that are looking at this program now. Very proud of this program. 6-2 right now. First MIAA conference matchup. Tuesday night, 5:30.
Yeah.
NSU, man. It doesn't get any better.
No.
I mean, they're close. You know that they'll have some fans in the stands. So this is an opportunity for Fort Smith to kind of show off what our fans bring to the game.
Yeah, I agree. You love rivalry games, right? And if you get the chance to play one on an opening night of a conference season, I think that's a great opportunity. And speaking to your point, I think the historical power of our program, the national championships, and the alumni, like you mentioned, I think that this is definitely a program that's been built on people who have put a lot of their lives into this program. Coach Horton, and we have an alumnus coming into our next Hall of Fame class, and just things about our program that we're so proud of and so thankful for. And our kids understand that. They understand who came before them, and they're trying to do the best they can to honor those folks and play hard every night and develop, like you just said, your life skills that come from sports in general, but come from college sports and playing at a place like this, being surrounded by a community like we have. It's a great place, and it's an honor to lead this program.
NSU comes into the house tomorrow night. It's Tuesday night, 5:30 tip-off for the ladies, 7:30 tip-off for the men. We'd like to see this place packed out. It would be good to see the Stubblefield Center full for our very first ever MIAA conference matchup. It's at the Stubblefield Center tomorrow night. Bring the entire family. We're in between the holidays. No sense in not getting out of the house. You've been stuck in the house with all your family for the entire holiday weekend. Let's get out and show our support for the Lions in this first conference game. Coach, always good to have you, man. I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about this program. This season in the MIAA should be a fun run, and we'll see you out on the court. I'll be courtside with you on tomorrow night.
Sounds great.
Thanks,
you, Jimmy.
Coach. I appreciate you.
You too.
Hey, we've got Chris Davis coming up. We're going to talk to Chris Davis about some of the things going on at Randall Ford as the Lions Den continues right after this. Hey, back in the Lions Den, we're at Randall Ford, where we're at each and every week, and just celebrated 116 years with our birthday in October here at Randall Ford. And right now we're in the 1925 Ford that's on the showroom floor. You can come by and check this out anytime. Bring the kids by. We've got Toys for Tots going on. And Chris, got great deals in the month of December, and you're driving this truck, man. You guys on our sales team have put this together for us, and you're saving some people a lot of money.
We are doing that, Jimmy. A few of the guys commented that, it's funny that you put me here in my first car sitting here, but I will say that we had a great November, but we're going to carry on the savings. What we're doing, we've got some big stuff going in December. Mm-hmm. As you know, December is the 12th month of the year.
Right.
In November, we did 11% off. Well, in December, what else can we do except 12% off new vehicles? That's what we're going to do for December for all you people out there.
So while the other guys are giving you 10% off, we're giving you 12% off. Do the math. On a $65,000 truck, they're giving you 10%. Do the math. We're giving you 12. We're saving you more. The other good thing about it is, Chris, we have one of the largest selections of new vehicles that we've had since before COVID.
That's true. Ford has finally caught up on production of new vehicles. They've got them rolling out now, and they are just stacking us deep with those vehicles. So we got to move them. But I will say, you better hurry, because if we did 11% and 12%, next month's the first month of the new year.
Yeah.
That would save 1%. So I wouldn't wait. I'd get in here and take advantage of that 12%.
Somebody needs to do a little traveling around Christmas, the week after Christmas. We have a ton of expeditions that if they're looking for that bigger SUV, we have them.
Yeah, if you're looking for a family-sized vehicle, you want to seat all the family and take them somewhere, you just want to take one car, you don't want to have to load up in two cars, load up in an expedition. That's one of those things that we're giving at least 12% off of.
Man, great sale. Thank you.
Jimmy.
Thank you for saving some money for the people around here, man. Come see us at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, fourth oldest Ford dealership in America, 116 years, and continuing today with a fourth generation-owned family running this store. They have been for a long time. Come see us, and thanks for tuning in to the Lions Den.